Welcome to The Fault. We have two brothers breaking down their business mistakes.
Hello, everyone. Today on The Fault, I'll be discussing breaking through mental blocks for difficult tasks.
And I will be talking about how I got a little annoyed over a very little thing with a client and what that showed me about the big picture.
That, but actually, no. Jared, some of us have standards. Over here at BEC, you need to treat us with respect because we treat you with respect.
It's also a signal to say, okay, if I'm getting upset about something like this, and I wasn't like upset about it, just if this is a spark in my head, then I'm not as stable as I need to be in general.
Good morning and welcome back to The Fault. Two brothers breaking down their business mistakes. I'm Jay. I run Bradford Express Cabinets and we sell cabinets. As always, I'm joined by my brother,
Jared. And I am the CEO of Worldwide English Services, where we customize and deliver English training courses online for corporate and government clients.
You definitely do. Today is Halloween. I had a contractor here that was picking up some stuff, and then we were just talking because he's a great guy. And he said he was writing out a check, and he goes, "By the way, I really like your Halloween costume." He goes, "I'm glad you only. It's scary. I'm glad you will only have it once a year." I thought that was pretty funny. He's say I look terrible and scary, and I was like, that's pretty funny. Today's Halloween.
He said, as long as you're cutting that check, baby, you can say whatever you want.
Nah, that, but actually, no, Jared, some of us have standards. Over here at BEC, you need to treat us with respect because we treat you with respect. And at
West, there's a direct correlation to the size of the check, the amount of respect we demand, an inverse relationship.
So for all you guys listening, if your business, your corporation, your hotel chain needs English lessons, if you write a big check, you could do some pretty terrible things. You could say some pretty terrible things.
Whatever you do want to do. We're here for you.
Terrible. Okay, I apologize. We have a bit of an emergency around here. Hands you with the telefono or something. Or I just wanted to, I don't know, a prank
cat
call.
got stuck up a tree.
That would be also. Okay, let's keep it moving. Today's Halloween. We didn't do anything special, and I would like to recognize that. Jared, what's going on? Where are you right now?
I just arrived in Kuwait for the first time in my entire life. So far, my first impressions are so-so, but we'll see. I'll go do some walking tomorrow, the next day, before I leave on Sunday, and we'll see what the city's like. I am at least on the 18th floor with a view out over the, I don't know, I guess the Gulf? I think it's the Gulf. I think it's the Gulf. The Gulf of, I don't remember which one it is.
Kuwait.
But, that's
Kuwait.
Yeah, the Gulf of Kuwait. That's it. We plant the flag and we claim this Gulf for the Queen of Kuwait. That's what I've been doing here so far.
Gulf of Mexico. I mean, it's not the Persian Gulf, and obviously Persia is a country.
It is. That's the one. It's the Persian Gulf. That's it exactly. This might be a branch of it or something, but it is. Yeah. Yep. That's why these countries are called. It's the Gulf. It's the Gulf states, or the GCC, the Gulf Cooperation Council, is all these like 5-6 countries around here.
Nice.
Yeah.
And are you?
But yeah, so I just got here today. I am here because I need a new visa to Saudi. I might go see a potential client on Sunday, which is a working day here. But I'll be flying back Sunday afternoon with a new visa in hand, and I'll be there for a couple of days before going off for a quick mini vacation to Cyprus that I'm looking forward to. That'll be fun. But yeah, so we'll see what things are like around here. So I'm a little worn out. A lot going on this week, and I've had a very packed schedule, unusually packed schedule for me. So yes, I'm a little bit worn out. It feels like it's the middle of next week already, but it's only not even the end of this week. So we're plowing ahead in that regard.
Nice.
How about you? How are things over there?
Well, you're working and twerking, so that's the good thing. And we're gonna keep this episode a little bit tighter than yesterday. So we actually did record yesterday, but behind the scenes, now they know. But yeah, we're gonna keep it tight. Over here is almost the exact same answer as yesterday. I've been working on cabinets, and I'm thinking about cabinets, and I'm doing cabinets, and that's what I'm doing. And so that's pretty much it.
You're in the right business for that.
I really am. I mean, it's unbelievable how many cabinets I have and how many I have to think about. There's a lot going on, and I already kind of made a mistake.
Good though.
It's not a mistake. It's just going to cost me more time and energy, which I already had a little minor fit about it. Just a little bit of let off some steam. Why don't you take us through
What's that?
something that you'd like to change for the future? Something you'd like to let's get right down to the meat of it and talk about something you'd
Sure.
like to change.
Let's do it. All right. So, my mistake that I made, it was earlier this week, and it was a small mistake, and it's actually related to what we were talking about last week or yesterday, depending on how time works in your world. Um, but it was, I talked on our last episode about keeping your eyes focused on the objective. And I complained a little bit, or my mistake was not, or mismanaging my team, or not training them in that regard. And this is an example of where I didn't do that. A small example, but I think it's revealing in two ways. So what happened? I had a potential client who is a friend of mine here in Saudi Arabia. I think we're going to work together next year. We'll see. We're still working on that. Um, and he asked me for help taking an English test because they were testing a new one out. And while we were doing that last weekend, I said, "Hey, do you want to take one of our tests as well? We do Cambridge English placement tests for our clients as a pre-assessment before anybody starts their English training with us." So I said, "Hey, by way of comparison, do you want to check it out?" And he said, "Sure." So he did a little bit, and then he kind of like he he was his brain ran out. He hit a wall a little bit after he got a little bit of the way in, and he said, "Okay, I can't do this anymore. I'm tired." But we had already reached a point where he had seen it. He had drawn his conclusions. He liked that one better, for the most part, along the metrics that count, I would say. So I had reached the objective. The objective wasn't for him to get to the end of the test. The objective was for him to see what the test is like, number one, and number two, like it and consider using it in the future. Then he said, "Can I finish it later or tomorrow?" And I said, "Yes, sure." And I extended the test to make sure he could do that. Then we had a conversation this week at some point. He was off in Bahrain with his family, and I asked him if he had completed it. He said no, and I said, "Well," I said something like, "Well, it's already over, but I can extend it if you'd like me to." And that was the mistake, actually, because I put a little bit of pressure on him, and there was really no reason to. Like, it didn't matter if he finished it or not. And what I would like to do in the future is reverse that. So I could say, I could state that. I can say, "Well, yeah, I mean, you saw what you need to see. If you want to finish it, just let me know. I can extend it, but either way, it's completely up to you."
Yeah.
Because it really is like I was looking for closure in my head, which was interesting. I'm not sure exactly why that was. I wanted to kind of finish that process. That was a process that I had running in my head, and I wanted to finish it by him getting to the end of it and then getting his results and just completing that process. And because he wasn't doing that, it was bothering me a little bit, and I took that out on him. So that was one that was
Yeah.
one a conclusion that I drew. One of those two that I mentioned, one conclusion is to just stay focused on that. Like, it's okay. Just get to the objective, not the end of the process. That's the priority. And the second thing that we touched on also is that I think when we are more stable as people, we can take more little annoyances. I was thinking if you're kind of in a tired, worn out place, if you're feeling a little beat up with a lot going on, and then a little annoyance comes up, that can feel like a lot, and you can lash out over that, and you can even kind of take out your frustration over other things out on that little thing. And so it's both a signal, or it's both a lesson about where to keep priorities, and then I think also a signal that, okay, if I'm getting upset because this guy didn't finish something he really didn't need to finish at all, In my head, I was even thinking we spent like $6 on this test, and he's not getting the full use out of it, which is a little frustrating. But it's fine. Like he did. I got what I needed out of that, and $6 isn't a lot of money, and it's perfectly okay. So it's also a signal to say, okay, if I'm getting upset about something like this, and I wasn't like upset about it, just if this is a spark in my head, then I'm not as stable as I need to be in general. So that was my mistake for this week.
It's annoying that even when we are compromised and when we're busier and have less energy, it requires energy to police ourselves a little bit to make sure that we're having
Yeah.
proportionate reactions and that we're not, like you said, taking out something, unrelated situation and bringing it into another one and damaging that one. And that takes even more energy. So it gets harder as it gets harder. And that's annoying.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
we just have to be, I guess, just a little more careful. That's interesting. It's a small one, but it feels like it's something that is kind of flies under the radar a little bit that people might not think about
Mhm.
and that might affect relationships, negotiations, interactions more than we think.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. They always say, or I say this, but I got it from somewhere. In sales or dealing with clients, you want to be interested but indifferent. So like, I want the work. I want the deal. I want to work with you. I want your money. I want the project. But also if I don't get it, it's fine. Not a
Yeah.
big deal. And that's a
Yeah.
very big, a powerful position to be in. But those, when we're compromised, like you said, either big picture, like just life is a lot right now,
Right.
or little picture, for whatever
No
reason,
sleep.
I'm
Yeah.
I just can't get out of my head that like we have this process running. It's going to take you another 8 minutes to do this, and then you'll get your result. I'll get my money's worth out of it, and like we'll just finish it. We're so close to just finishing it. Why can't you? I don't know. Maybe that's just the way my brain works about getting wrapped up in little things like that. And for a few seconds or a few minutes, maybe when you get the message, that's when it is for me. When I get the message, and then for just a little bit, like that's all like that blocks out my vision. And so yeah, whether it's a big picture of making sure that you're more stable, whether it's you have enough rest or you're drinking enough or you have enough money or whatever it is, or if it's little picture, flagging up those emotions when they come and having an algorithm for how to deal with them. Yeah, I think that's important.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
You weren't
how
quite
about over
you
you?
weren't
You
quite over it.
mentioned.
You sound like you needed to get a little more out, so I'm glad you did just now.
Yeah,
Only 8 minutes
sure,
more.
for sure.
Um, yeah, no,
Sounds
so
good. Do you want
for
me
me,
to just test for him? Can somebody just finish the
yeah,
please?
yeah. I just keep extending it every day, hoping he's gonna open it. Uh, so mine's I don't have a real solid one today. Let me just destroy it before I even start. Um, here I was looking through. Here are I've been going through a video series that a buddy of mine has been doing, and he's got a lot of nuggets in there. A lot of it's for e-com, and that's not as applicable to what I'm doing. But there's a couple of things in here, and I just wanted to. One of them triggered something, and I wrote out something that I've been trying to do unsuccessfully recently. Uh, but a way to kind of more systematically attack things. I know I've spoken on here multiple times, so this will be kind of painting over the same wall, again, just a little bit differently. But I've talked about having problems pushing through obstacles and really going and insisting on being in the room and pushing for what I need and in the moment and in general, big picture with
Mhm.
business. And
Yeah.
one thing is I think if I break down, this is what I have written out. I need to identify the block in each thing I don't do. Any task that I feel a block with, write out the process. So I have I have write out the process and then I have massage the knot until it releases. So basically, whatever, because I don't know if any of you guys are like me or if you're like me, Jared, where when you have like a, a task to do, if in there somewhere is a block, then I code the whole thing with that's a block. It's all red.
Yeah, in
And so
general.
and so I think breaking it down and even sometimes if I have the energy and the presence of mind, I've only done this once, but if it's something where I can literally write it out, the process of doing it, and it's slightly more complicated than getting up and doing the dishes, not that stuff, but um, uh, I have an office area over here, and I haven't. It's been over a year, and I haven't done it because I have this, and everything's okay, and so. But I'd like to have this thing, this whatever, and I'd like to I have to there's a couple of things I have to do. There's a whole process that I need to do, a couple of things I need to buy, and the main thing that's blocking me, there's 2 things that are blocking me, and the one of them is that I painted the walls twice and that the walls, you can still see, part of the older color because it was a lighter color, I didn't go whatever, so you can see in the edges where I touched or I cut in a lot, it's very white, and you can see, like, the difference. It's not a good paint job. But I also don't have the solution because I already went back and painted the whole thing again, and it looks terrible. So I don't know if it's the wrong paint. I don't know if it's never gonna work because I should have taken off the paint. I'm not a painter, I have no idea, so I don't know if I should have taken off. That's a block in my mind that I don't have the answer for. And so I need to forget about the whole rest of the process and whether or not and just go with that one not in the process. Or with the floor, I that
Right.
one's a bit easier because I know that I just need to go to Home Depot, rent a thing a machine that polishes and scrapes, cement floors that took up a carpet. It was gross, and then there's, like, the glue and whatever, and I'd like to smooth it out. I don't know if it'll be fully successful, but I have the plan to do it. I just need to be able to load it in there. So I need somebody to help me to load the thing in there, take it off here, I can figure it out how to do. I already bought a mask because it's gonna get, like, crazy dirty. Whatever, that isn't as much a block, it's just an annoying, difficult task. It's gonna take, like, 8 hours, I'll be completely filthy, and it'll be a disaster, and it costs money, but the painting thing is actually more of a big deal. And so I have that whole process, that whole project painted in red, or it's like it's an error because of those mainly the walls and then the floor. And so if I just sit there until I have a solution, talk to experts that know more about painting than I do, just figure out, then that will release the rest of the project, and if I can turn that into something that's not whatever. And so that's
Yeah.
that's what I would like to do in a better world is to literally, if I have to
Huh.
do anything, and if it's like a significant, if it's any sort of process that has multiple steps, figure out where it is exactly is the thing and then contact that person, uh, find the solution for that one problem and attack it that way. So that's the main one.
Yeah.
Actually, there's another one that wasn't related to
I like
something
that a
I talked about.
lot.
I think I'm just gonna say that one.
Save it for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, really like that actually. I really appreciate I relate to it a lot where when you have a larger process that's getting hung up over one thing, you don't do the larger process because of that smaller thing. And the larger process takes on the attributes of the step, the smaller thing. And so if you just figure out what is bothering you about the big thing, you identify the small thing, and just in that process, nothing changed. You're still worried about the same thing, but it's smaller. And I think that's really powerful. I like that a lot. And in that case, like you said, just saying, okay, well, uh, setting up an entire office is much harder than figuring out what the problem with paint
Oh,
is. And right, right, yeah. And if the reason the setting up the office is such a huge issue in your head is because of the paint thing, then just deal with the paint thing on its own.
yep.
Yeah, I really like that. I think that's a really powerful tool. Cool.
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
I'll look forward to checking in. I will try to use that myself. I'm thinking about where I want to apply in Arabic, learning Arabic. That's one
Mm.
in particular.
Oof, that's a tough one. Well, if there is a block, maybe it
Yep.
depends on how you view it. Besides just the learn.
There also could be multiple blocks.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
Yeah, I could see there being. Yep, yep. I could see it. Those there being multiple knots that you can then, but still, then you take it. This week, I'm gonna massage out this knot. Next week, I'll massage out the second one. That's one. Posted on social media. That's another one. Um, yeah, yep, cool.
Well,
I like that a lot. I appreciate you guys coming up with that strategy and sharing it with me and us. Hopefully, other people find use for it as well. Cool.
I
Thank
just
you.
we're all just gonna get together and massage some knots. That's what I want for everybody.
That's what we
Get
do
out
here
some knots.
at the Fault
Yeah.
Vault.
Yes. We should have had that as the tagline: massaging knots till the release, and our life gets better.
Yeah, we might have looped in a couple other audiences too with that.
Moving on. I'd like to spring something on you today, podcast host and brother. I think I'm gonna throw in one, and you can shoot it down for next time, but I'm gonna do it live so you can't refuse. And today is gonna be the new segment,
Boy.
and it's gonna be a very short credit card tip. Oh, credit cards are a passion of mine. I thoroughly enjoy them, and this is a real basic one that's gonna be applicable to a lot of people. Um, Remember to use your Chase Freedom Flex card through PayPal this shopping season for 5% back on up to $1,500. So all of you, it's a very common card. So all of you that have that, make sure you're using it through PayPal. A lot of retailers obviously accept PayPal. All your online shopping, get 5% back. It's a real easy one. So just make sure you activate that in the quarter. It runs from the beginning of October, and it'll do it posthumously. It's not the right word, but it'll do it in retrospectively.
Retrospectively, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you could, it's from the beginning of October till the end of the year. So anyway, that's my pro tip for that.
Can you repeat what is the name of the card again?
Chase Freedom Flex card. It used to be called the Chase Freedom card, but it's now the Flex card. So as a
So if they don't have that card, where would they go to get that card?
Chase.com. Where they will use here is referral link. We're gonna put referrals in the thing? If you want a referral, just message us on Instagram. Message us on Instagram, obviously. I don't know.
I'm trying to break it down a little bit to you're looking at the end point on that, and I want to for somebody who doesn't know exactly what you're talking about, trying to help out a little bit. So the name of the card where you get it, is this a card very difficult to get?
No, it's a basic card. No annual fee. Has the rotating 5% categories, and every day it earns 3x on dining and CVS. What are those called? Drugstores.
Pharmacies?
Pharmacies. Yeah.
And so with the 5x, what do you mean by that? So like it's cash back or what?
It's cash back you earn points that are redeemable for 1 cent per point through your statement credits or back to your bank account. Or if you have a premium card, they could be transferred to other partners and used for travel and hotels and airlines and such, which is a different conversation. But yeah, as rotating, it's also 5x on McDonald's, of all things. So I think actually you get 7% back on McDonald's because of the 3x. You get 1 plus the 1 base plus the 2 extra on dining. Whatever. We don't want to make this too long. But for those of you that have the card, I guess I was more talking to you all to remember, activate, and use that for this. It's a good card, so most people should have it, in my opinion. But it was more for the people that already have it. Today, we actually have a very real sponsor for today as well. Very real sponsor today. Panera. Leading experts say every single day how important white bread is for our daily diets, and Panera makes that easy. Bread on top of bread with a side of bread can be very helpful for getting our nutrients to us. Pro tip, use a little bit of black pepper and olive oil on the side for the side bread. When you get those little flakes, it makes for a tasty treat. Use code 15ECM824 for $5 off 15. And funny fact, that is a real promo code, and it will work. It will probably be expired by the time whatever. But if you want to look, there's a pinned post on Reddit for promo codes for Panera, and you can oftentimes find something. You might have to get a specific sandwich, but remember, you can customize. I don't really like eating pork, so I can get like a BLT or something like that and just customize and change stuff. But Yes, but that's a real. It actually is a real promo code. But we do like Panera.
Cool.
White bread, 4 days. Thank you very much.
Nothing if not value here at the Fault.
I'm so sorry.
Value.
I'm so sorry. Your life is better. Yes, experts all say. Vegetables are out. White bread is in. Okay, we're ready to wrap it up.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Wonderful. Thank you all for watching,
so much.
listening. Yes, always good to talk with you, brother. Obviously, I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully you get rest because you're looking a little. You're a little worn out. That bed behind you looks so comfortable. So hope you can. Yeah,
That
you can sleep soon.
top right corner in particular.
All right, there we go. All right, thank you all for watching. See you next time.